The world of MotoGP is screaming in shock today. A secret war has just exploded inside the Yamaha garage, and the fallout is absolutely nuclear. While the world was watching the birth of the all-new VC engine, they missed the real story. Fabio Quartararo is reportedly furious, pushed to the edge by the arrival of a man who treats the laws of physics like a playground. Toprak Razgatlioglu hasn't just arrived, he has invaded, and he is playing psychological games with the most expensive machinery on the planet. Is this the birth of a new empire, or the beginning of a total Yamaha civil war? Here is the truth behind the chaos. The hollowed asphalt of the MotoGP circuit is currently trembling under the weight of a monumental technical shift that threatens to shatter the long-standing status quo of the premier class racing world. For decades, Yamaha stood as the final stubborn bastion of the inline-4 engine architecture, a design celebrated for its poetic fluidity, but recently mocked for its lack of raw, unadulterated top-end speed against the giants. Now, the silence of tradition has been broken by the ferocious, guttural roar of a prototype V4 engine, signaling a desperate and aggressive evolution. This is not merely a mechanical update, it is a total declaration of war against the European dominance that has left the Japanese giant in the shadows. As the engineers calibrate this new beast, the atmosphere in the garage is thick with a volatile mixture of scientific precision and pure, raw anxiety. The V era has arrived, and it promises to redefine the limits of physics and the hierarchy of the grid forever. At the epicenter of this tectonic shift stands the Turkish sensation, Toprak Razgatlıoğlu, a man whose arrival in MotoGP has been prophesied like a storm gathering on the horizon of the racing world. Signed directly by the factory with a contract that guarantees him parity with the elite, Toprak is not entering the paddock as a humble student, but as a calculated predator ready to feast. His placement within the Pramac Yamaha satellite structure is a strategic masterpiece, providing him with the exact same lethal weaponry as the factory stars while shielding him from the immediate political pressure of the main garage. However, the sheer audacity of his presence is already causing ripples of tension that can be felt from the pit lane to the grandstands. He is a rider who treats the laws of gravity as mere suggestions, and his transition from the production-based world of superbikes to the alien prototypes of MotoGP is the most anticipated and scrutinized crossover in the history of the sport. The initial sparks of a legendary rivalry were ignited during the secret testing sessions, where Toprak began to dance with the MotoGP prototype, showcasing a level of natural talent that bordered on the supernatural. Reports from the trackside suggest that Toprak wasn't just learning the lines, he was actively experimenting with the bike's limits, often sliding the rear tire with a nonchalance that left onlookers breathless. This flamboyant display of control was not just for show, it was a psychological opening salvo directed at his future teammate and rival, Fabio Quartararo. While the world expected a period of quiet adjustment, Toprak chose instead to unleash his signature aggressive style, treating the multi-million-dollar prototype like a toy. This playing around was a deliberate demonstration of his comfort level, a signal to the entire paddock that the learning curve everyone predicted was, for him, a flat line. The Turkish rider is not here to participate. He is here to dominate every single soul. Fabio Quartararo, the El Diablo of the Yamaha squad, and the man who has carried the weight of the manufacturer on his shoulders for years, is reportedly fuming at the perceived arrogance of the newcomer. For Fabio, the V4 project is a lifeline, a result of his relentless demands for more power and a machine capable of fighting the Ducati armada. To see a rookie, regardless of his pedigree, come in and treat the early development phase with such theatrical flair feels like a personal affront to the seriousness of his mission. Fabio's frustration stems from a place of deep competitive pride. He has bled for every tenth of a second on the old inline-4, and he expects the new era to be approached with a certain level of reverence and focus. The sight of Toprak performing stunts and testing the VC's limits with such ease has created a visible rift in the garage, turning the development process into a high-stakes theater of ego, speed, and simmering resentment. The technical data coming off the VC engine is as explosive as the drama between the riders, with early telemetry showing a power curve that is both terrifying and beautiful to the Yamaha engineers. Fabio has acknowledged the engine's potential, noting that the bike's operational mechanics and handling characteristics have shifted into a new dimension of performance. However, his praise is tempered by a cold professional distance, as he knows that this new weapon is a double-edged sword that could just as easily be used against him by the man across the garage. The Valencia tests were intended to be a methodical deep dive into electronics and chassis geometry, a quiet search for a base setup that would provide stability for the long season ahead. Instead, they became the backdrop for a silent psychological war where every lap time was a statement and every debrief was a battleground. The VC is no longer just a project. It is the catalyst for a civil war within the team. Toprak's vision for the future is not limited to internal team squabbles. He is looking far beyond the immediate horizon to the revolutionary 2027 season, when the rulebook is set to be torn apart. With the mandate for 850cc engines and restricted aerodynamics, Toprak believes the playing field will be leveled, stripping away the technological advantages of the current leaders and leaving only the riders' raw ability. He has openly and boldly declared his intention to hunt down Marquez, the undisputed king of the modern era, in a straight fight for supremacy. This level of public confidence is unheard of for a rider who hasn't yet completed a full season, but Toprak thrives on the pressure of his own high expectations. He views the 2026 season as a mere prelude, a necessary period of adaptation before he unleashes his full potential under the new regulations. To him, Marquez is not an idol to be respected, but a target to be neutralized on his way to the top. The sheer physicality of Toprak's riding style is what truly unnerves his competitors, as he brings a level of stuntman bravery to the world of precision prototype racing that few have ever dared to exhibit. His legendary stoppies, where he balances the bike on the front wheel while decelerating from incredible speeds, are a testament to his freakish sense of balance and brake control. While he joked that these displays would be reserved for podium finishes, the message was clear: he expects to be on that podium frequently. For Fabio Quartararo, who relies on a style of surgical precision and high corner speed, Toprak's stop and go violence is a chaotic element that threatens to disrupt the development path of the Yamaha M1. The clash of these two distinct philosophies, the artist versus the brawler, is creating a fascinating but volatile environment where the engineers must decide which direction the future of the VCT engine will ultimately take. As the team prepares for the grueling 6-day test in the suffocating heat of Malaysia, the tension has reached a boiling point that no amount of air conditioning in the hospitality units can soothe. Sepang will be the ultimate proving ground, a track that punishes both man and machine with its long straights and technical complexes, making it the perfect place to see if the VST can truly compete. For Toprak, it is an opportunity to explore the absolute limits of the M1 without the constraints of a race weekend, a chance to refine his aggression into something more efficient. For Fabio, it is a chance to reclaim his territory and prove that he is still the undisputed master of the Yamaha development direction. The Malaysia Massacre, as some insiders are already calling it, will likely determine the hierarchy of the team for years to come. Every second on track will be scrutinized by the global media, looking for any sign of weakness or any spark of the inevitable explosion. The global MotoGP fanbase is currently divided, with many American enthusiasts captivated by the outsider narrative of Toprak entering the world's most elite racing circle to challenge the established order. The influx of WSBK fans following their hero has injected a new energy into the sport, creating a buzz that hasn't been seen since the peak of the Rossi era. This is exactly what Yamaha needs, a narrative of rebirth and rebellion, but it comes at the cost of internal stability and the potential alienation of their championship-winning star, Fabio Quartararo. The marketing potential of a V4-powered Yamaha, ridden by the most exciting talent in the world, is astronomical, but the reality of managing two alpha predators in one cage is a nightmare for the team management. They are walking a razor-thin tightrope between technological breakthrough and a total organizational meltdown, with the eyes of the entire sporting world watching their every move. In conclusion, the 2025 season is shaping up to be a cinematic masterpiece of high-speed drama, technical revolution, and personal vendettas that will leave the MotoGP world forever changed by its outcome. The Yamaha V4 is more than just an engine. It is the heart of a new empire, and the battle for its soul is being fought between a French champion who has given everything and a Turkish challenger who wants it all. Whether Fabio can suppress his fury and channel it into performance, or whether Toprak's playful arrogance will truly dismantle the competition, remains the most compelling question in motorsports today. As the lights go out and the VCs scream, the time for talking will end, and the era of the most violent rivalry in racing history will begin. The world is watching, the stakes are infinite, and in the end, only one king can wear the crown of the VC revolution. The stage is set, the actors are ready, and the first act of this drama is about to be written in blood and rubber.